we were blessed to be able to be in a position to help the young men. Scripture says that you have a season for everything. It's a season for everything.
Yeah.
And we had a great season. It was our time at that moment. Then our season is over, it's our time to move on. But we just hope and pray that there's something we said that can lead them in a direction of positivity. I'm big on faith. I'm a faithful guy. And my faith helped me get through a whole lot of it.
Eric Johnson here for another installment of Around the Way with EJ here at the home of the Colonels. Not only the home, my home as well. A special moment here with head coach Jeff Mickey Hardy, who, as we of course told you a couple weeks ago, decided to hang up the coaching whistle finally, right? So it's a special time to be here, special opportunity to sit down and talk with him. Before we start, I'd be remiss if I didn't at the least send my sympathy and condolences to the entire Patrick Henry family and entire Roanoke City basketball community, losing such a bright life, great kid in Jacoby. So again, our deepest condolences and sympathies. This thing is bigger than just crosstown rivals. Beyond that, we're all trying to get kids on the right path and help instruct them. So again, our deepest condolences in that regard. When it comes to you, of course, the first question, man, why now? What made now the time?
Well, Scripture says that you have a season for everything. It's a season for everything.
Yeah.
And we had a great season. It was our time at that moment. Then our season is over. It's our time to move on.
I know you've been at this thing for quite some time. If I remember right, 30 years overall, about 20 here at Fleming as head coach. Is that right?
31 overall, 21.
21.
Yeah.
My goodness, man. Ton of kids have come through in that time, right?
Wow. I couldn't even name them all.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We were blessed to be able to be in a position to help the young men. Hopefully we did something or said something along their journey to make their life a little easier and someone to lean on, you know?
Yeah.
Today, in today's time, we have to make sure that we continue to teach the right things to our youth.
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely.
so important, you know? And you got to have the right people teaching the right things.
I think when we talked last time, you mentioned how your mother was instrumental in teaching you how to be of service to others. Did you think that service to others would be as a coach and for so long?
I didn't, but you know, she instilled that into all her kids, and for some reason we all followed that path and that saying, you know, and it was a blessing to make sure that she made sure that we did the right things and stayed on the right path through it all. You know, I have a great family support system with my brothers and sisters and my children and my wife, you know, and that what made this journey a lot easier.
When you got something to go home to and people to care for and people to care for you, oh man, you can't help but give back and want to give back in such a big way. Had humble beginnings. I remember also grew up in southeast of Roanoke County there. I remember you mentioned the little bit of a dust bowl.
Yeah. The neighborhood kids would play on the dust board, and then after we get through, we'd go home, our socks and shoes be just dusty and dirty and things like that.
Yeah.
But that group of guys that I grew up with was great, you know, when we keep in contact right today.
Yeah, obviously the dust bowl because there was no pavement. Right. You had to get out there.
That's and humble's beginning.
What did playing on a surface like that teach you? Did it teach you anything, or was it quite the adjustment coming on the hardwood?
I tell you, it taught you how to handle the basketball because it only took one rock. And then you had to chase the basketball from that point.
Yeah.
It just taught you how to do things a different way.
Yeah.
You know, and we made use of what we had. And it turned out in our favor, actually.
William Byrd stand out, of course, under one of the great coaches, of course.
Oh my.
Yeah. What was that experience like, man?
That was the experience of a lifetime. That led me down this path right here.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball coach, Coach Roland Malone. He was a very disciplinarian, and that sort of like what I took my coaching style after, because I only knew one way. And you know, and I brought it here at the William Fleming High School, and the kids bought into it. You know, the kid will only do what you allow them to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't allow them to do a whole lot of things outside of what we wanted them to do.
Yeah. Went on to Ferrum Junior College at the time, then transferred to Virginia Tech. And you met that guy, Marshall Ashford, man. I think I remember you saying there was some kind of little pickup game.
Yeah,
little deal.
Back gym at the Castle Coliseum and pickup games and play. And from that point, we just became friends. We hit it off, and then not knowing that we was going to be coaching together. That's sort of how God works things out, you know.
Yeah.
And, we've been together for that long.
Man,
that long.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. When you're a coach for so long and go through some of the different, generations that you have been, what's kept you, I guess, kind of in it and being able to be, relatable to the kids? Because obviously kids change over time. I'm sure you imagine your first group was far different than how they are now. What kept you in it and, I guess, kind of relatable?
Just watching the growth from when they come in as a freshman until they graduate.
Yeah.
If you don't have that desire and that will and the want to change a person's life, most of the time that person's not going to change.
Yeah.
So as a coach, you had to wear many hats, and we did here at William Fleming High School. And we were blessed because to be a coach, it's not just one person. Mm-hmm. It's about a group of people, even from central office all the way to the custodian. Everybody has to be on the same team, on the same page before we make this big thing work.
When did you come to the decision? Was it before the season started, mid-season, or was it truly just totally after the season?
I've been telling my wife, my daughter, my family for 10 years that this is my last year. And they would say the same thing, no, you're going to keep going. And I would keep coming back. And then I believe it was this past year, and I had that feeling that, man, maybe it's time to pass the torch on. And I think it was around after basketball season, I just had that feeling that I wanted to move on and allow some youth come in or whomever come in and try this.
You have coached, as we mentioned, hundreds of kids, if not thousands at this point. Obviously, a couple stand out, a couple have gone on to do great things, but how nice is it to know you can measure success not by what they've accomplished, but by simply who they become in life? Yeah,
that was the most important thing for myself as well as Coach After, to make sure that these kids took something away from us. It wasn't just about basketball in our practice. Our practice consists of, we open up practice with life skills. Then we move into our practice. Every day we're going to say something about how you got to conduct yourself, what person you want to be, how you're going to get there to be that person. Yeah. So we open practice that way. It was just not anything that we thought it was going to be easy, but it's something that had to be done.
Working with kids, obviously you did it on the court here, but also too, you try to change lives and direct kids' lives outside of just the basketball court as well, as you touched on, and working with the juvenile home for quite some time. What was that experience like in trying to help those young ones as well?
Well, I'm big on faith. I'm a faithful guy. My faith helped me get through a whole lot of it. My church family prayed for me throughout this whole journey, even when I was working at the detention center. The fact that you have to have something to lean on. We're not all that, as we so to speak. So we have to have something to lean on. I lean on God.
Yeah.
And I allow Him to lead me and direct my path. So these are my paths directed by Him.
Yeah.
Not my own personal path.
Right. Is it harder trying to instill, I guess, some of those concepts and things in kids these days as the generations get younger and younger, to get them to see, hey, it's bigger than this moment, it's bigger than, just this one shot, this one game?
Some kids going to get it.
Yeah.
Some kids are not. It doesn't matter how much we preach and teach. Some kids going to go and do what they want to do. But we just hope and pray that there's something we said that can lead them in a direction of positivity.
Yeah.
Not in a direction where something's could happen to them.
Yeah.
And it very well could. But we try to install that in those kids come through our program. And like I said, it's not an easy thing to work with kids these days and time compared to 30 years ago.
Sure.
30 years ago, kids were just different than kids are today, and it's understandable, but we still have to continue to work with them.
The likes of, we can go on and on, Jamel Higgins, Troy Daniels, other guys that have gone on to continue with this basketball thing. What's that feeling like when they come back home and not only come home, but when they tap you and say, hey, can you help me run my camp? Can you please come on out?
It feels good, Guys call me on Father's Day, call me on Christmas, tell me about they got married, tell me about their first child, things like that make me feel good, and write little notes to me and things of that nature. So that means that we must be doing something or did something to impact those guys' lives, and that's what we're here for. We want to see the positive things that come from their life, and so far it's been great. Along this journey you're going to meet some people, some kids that you just grow fond to.
Yeah.
And it's been a couple, James Odie guys, even my nephew, LaShawn Grogan. It's just so many, the list goes on and off. Of course, the 207 championship team. We just try to keep in contact with them as much as possible.
Yeah.
But along this journey, we just wanted to be a positive influence to them.
What was that feeling like, speaking of that championship team, finally getting over the hump? Because I remember the trips to Richmond, man, and Siegel Center is just different. Even to this day, lights are different. Folks are kind of up on you, but yet it's kind of far out. So I always tell teams when I see them go there the first time, I'm like, get here next year, because this year might not work, right? But what was that feeling like, breaking through that thing?
You said the right thing. I told our kids, I said, take advantage of this, absorb all this, because some guys go their whole lives and never get to this point. Even coaches never get to this point. Yeah. So absorb it and just take advantage of it. And I think we did a great job of just in the moment. We lived in the moment. The guys played hard. The coaches coach hard. You can't do what we did here without great coaches. And I had a great coaching staff, and just, those guys were just loyal to me. They would do anything. They would take our program to high heights. That was most important. And that's the most important thing a coach can do, is to make sure his coaching staff is on the same page as he's on.
What are you going to miss more, the bus rides or perhaps because some of those, I mean, it's nice, but at the same time, you're like, man, this is a long way. I remember the days of having to go like to Halifax or something like that, right? You're like, you're like, man, are we there yet?
Albemarle, yeah. But it was fun, we joked, we laughed. When it was time to hit the court, we played hard. That's one thing I can say about teams here at William Fleming. A lot of times we didn't have the talent certain times, but they played hard, which made up for the difference. And at the end of the day, that's all we could lay our hat on. Defense and hard work.
What's, I guess, one or two things that perhaps parents out there may not even realize that coaches got to go through, or coaches perhaps got to, push through, right?
At home with my wife at night, sometimes we'll be in the bed, and 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll get up. She said, "What you doing?" I got a play in my mind. I want to see if it'll work or not. So I go in, get me a piece of paper, start writing it down. I'm balling up paper, throwing it on the floor. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working on something." You just got to have that support. And I got a great wife who supports me, a great family who supports me, friends who supports me. That would make this journey a lot easier. But it does wear on you at some degree. The wins, you're up, the losses. You're trying to figure out a way to get better.
Talked with Ryan Price recently. Obviously went on to play at the college level and do great things with coaching as well. How nice is it from that realm to see guys that pick up what you did and do in terms of coaching the game as well now?
Well, like I said earlier, I learned from my high school coach, my college coaches. So Ryan came through our program and he had an opportunity to learn some things from us. Now, I don't know if it worked or not, but it's something different. But, we try to teach our kids, and we always tell our guys that you're in the center circle. Somebody in this circle going to be a coach. And lo and behold, we done had a whole lot in that circle of coaches. So we just try to instill in them the things that they're going to need to be successful in that arena. And it feels good to see coaches like Price and other coaches like James Odie, those guys doing very well in the coaching arena, and which is, it's a tribute to the program here.
Rich tradition now, and obviously, of course, guys from around the area making it up the coaching ranks. Obviously, JJ recently out there with the Lakers. I mean, you on the market? Like you can enjoy LA? I
want to enjoy the couch a little bit.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Well deserved. But what's it like sitting back and you seeing a guy that perhaps you coached against?
I was excited for him, man, because he came through a camp we used to call court camp back in the day, and JJ he would come every summer to the camp, and we got an opportunity to know him personally. But prayerfully, he'll do a great job out there, and to see the runner should be excited about him making that step. It's not something that I'm sure he take for granted, but he had an opportunity to do something. He took it, and I'm gonna be cheering for him. I've always been a Laker fan, but I'm a bigger Laker fan. Troy Daniels, now JJ Redick. Man. And he had, what was it? George Lynch back in the day had a little stint there too, man. So we kind of got that Laker Roanoke connection thing going. Running a Laker thing here.
Kind of alluded to it there, but what's next in the immediate future? The couch or we?
No, we're just gonna sit back and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the blessings that God has bestowed upon me and my family, and just see what happens. and just enjoy it.
Yeah, check out a game or two now as a fan, you know, just,
Yeah.
all right, cool, they look good.
I won't be in a hurry to critique another coach.
Oh, no.
I'm going to let him endure some of the pain.
Can't teach them all of it immediately, right?
You got to go through the process. So hopefully that we'll hire a great guy here at William Fleming High School that will do great things.
Indeed.
I will be supportive in any kind of way I can.
Speaking of great things, you did a ton here. We appreciate your hard work, your dedication, and trying to steer everybody in the right path, man. On the court, off the court, with a basket, or just in life.
Yeah.
Mickey Hardy, we appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. God bless you, my man.
Yes, indeed. Likewise.
All right.